everyone, it's Tanya, and today I thought we'd work on a card idea I have. It's an idea for a card that I think would be a good hostess gift if you're invited to someone's house for Thanksgiving, or just to send someone for Thanksgiving or fall. Even you could change up what it says. So I hope you'll join me in making this card. I will tell you that I've prepped a few things, so the video isn't terribly long, but I'll go over everything I prepped as I get to it and talk about what I use. And as always, everything will be linked below. So let's get started on this card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on the background for this card. And I just have a piece of mixed media cardstock cut to an A2 size, as you can see here. And then I have a bunch of leaves cut from mixed media cardstock as well. And the leaves I used are the ones from the Cozy Foliage leaf set from Scrapbookcom. And I use this one, this one, this one, and this one, as you can see right here. And I just used some mint tape and I taped them together, and I just cut them, I think it was 3 different times. So I cut 3 of each of these out, and I have those all right here. And like I said, they're cut from mixed media cardstock as well. So what we're going to do with these is I'm going to take and I'm going to just kind of lay them out on here where I think I want them. And then after I figure out where I want them, we will start gluing them down. So first, let's separate these so I know what I'm picking up here and how many of each I'm using. Let's see. There's 3 of the same. Those are the same. And those are the same. Okay. Because I want to try to make sure that I get, I don't want to like 2 of the same one side by side if I can help it. And I kind of want them going in different directions maybe. So some are going up and down, some are going to the side. Let's see. Let's do this one up here, maybe like that. And you definitely want to make sure some of them are coming off the edge. So you don't want them like just inside of here. You want some coming off the edge. Okay. Let's use this one. Maybe here. Let's do this one here. No, we have that one there already. Okay. Do I want to move anything? I think we'll move that one like that. Okay, so this part's kind of important. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you get glue as close to the edge of these as possible without pushing it out from under them when you glue them down. So what we're kind of doing is doing like a faux embossing kind of. So I like to pick these up one at a time, leave them all down, and then just kind of glue them back down. I've done this kind of background quite a few times. I really like it. It always turns out really nice. And you can leave it this color or you can ink it. And I plan on inking this today. So let's see. I'm going to get this down here. Okay, let's go to this one. So I'm going to show you a couple of these, and then I'll speed this process up so that you're not sitting here watching me in real time. I have to glue each of these down, but you'll get an idea of exactly what I'm doing here. Okay, I cannot remember. Did I have that one? Really? Was it this way? Oh. We're going this way. So you want to make sure these are nice and glued down. And then I like to use a nice long pair of scissors, and I'm using my Tim Holtz ones for this. And what I do is just flip it over, line my scissors up with the edge, and just cut off any of the overhang. Now sometimes if I don't have enough images cut out, if I didn't cut out quite enough, or if I feel like there's a space that needs to be filled in along the edge, I'll use these cutoff pieces for that. But I think this time, I think we're pretty good. Flip it over and see what it looks like. I'm going to put a little bit of water on my rag and just wipe my scissors off to make sure there's no glue on there. We don't want to leave any glue on our scissors. Okay. So I think this one's pretty good, but like I said, sometimes if you have a space that you feel like you need another one, you can take a piece and add that. Like if you wanted to put something there, like that maybe, you could line it back up and add a piece there to fill it in. But I don't know. You know what? I may do just that. I think that piece will be perfect too, because that does look like it needs a little something. So I'm just going to put a little bit more glue back onto this. And then I'm just going to line it right up with that edge and push it down. Yeah, because that looked like that needed a little something there. What we're going to do now is we're going to ink up our background. And I've got out squeezed lemonade, fossilized amber, carved pumpkin, and spiced marmalade of the Distress Oxide inks. I've got a paper towel out because as I go in between my yellows, I'm going to wipe it off. And between my oranges, I'm going to wipe off my brush just so that I don't contaminate anything with the other color when I'm inking. Not my ink pads, but my actual background here. So I'm just going to take these off, and I'll leave them sitting up straight like this. And I'm going to start with my lightest color, and that is Squeezed Lemonade. And I am just going to kind of go in and randomly place this like this. I'm going to wipe my brush off on my paper towel, and then I'm going to go into some fossilized amber. Kind of blend that into that one. To that one. And here on this one. We're going to go on some carved pumpkin. And we'll do a little here. And let's see. Some here. And here. And I'll wipe my brush. We'll go on with some spiced marmalade. A little down here. And then we're going to go back in with some squeezed lemonade. Kind of lighten up some of this. Here. So what I'm trying to do is just get these to blend a little bit more softly together. Let's go back in with a little bit of carved pumpkin. Like that. And you can do this until you get it however you want it to look. I like the way this looks, so I'm going to clean this up and we'll go on to the next step. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do for this is I'm going to take just a little bit of ground espresso and I am going to go around the edge of that. And I'm going to use a smaller brush than what I had out. I'm going to pat a little bit of that off onto the side because I don't want, see how dark that is right there? I don't want it to be that dark all the way around. Just, I want to lighten it up a bit. There we go. Okay. So I just want that right along the edge. And I like how it's picking up like the edge of those leaves. Really it's making those pop up a little bit more.
Motion detected at the mailbox.
There we go. Maybe a little bit more here. Now, honestly, if you wanted to, you could go around all the leaves with this. That is completely up to you. But I just want to go around the actual edge of the card with it. I feel like that area needed a little more. So that is what our background looks like. Okay, the next step is I'm going to start assembling some of the pieces that I plan on using for this. So let's go over a little bit of that. I've got 2 pumpkins cut out. I've got, and these are from the Hedgehog die set. And like I said, all this stuff is going to be linked below. So also from this, I cut out the hedgehog and I cut out the little body pieces, extra like his feet and ears, nose, eyes twice. And that gives me 2 pumpkin stems and the inserts for his ears. I tested 2 different colors on those and I left those in here. They didn't pop out when I took them out the die cut machine. That's just made it easier for me to color these pieces. So anyway, I colored his nose. I am going to double that up. I'm going to only use one of these ears, and that's this one. I like the way this color looked better than this. And then the 2 pumpkin stems and his feet. So that's from this die from this set. Then for the actual hedgehog, oops, it does not want to come out of the magnetic tray. So again, this is the pumpkin die from that set. Okay, so from this set, I cut out this piece, which cuts out his body. This cuts out his body piece. And this is the piece of his body that does not have any of the debossing. This one does the debossing. So I cut out one of those and one of the one that does it. And only reason I did that is I wanted to see what it looked like. And choose which one I wanted, but I'm going to use them both. I'm just going to layer them to give him a little bit more thickness. So that's those 2 pieces. And I cut 2 of his face pieces. Let me see if I can get those up off the table. That's these. And I'm going to layer those also. Now I will tell you, I took some alcohol marker and just went around the outside of this paper. And I did that just so that it wasn't that white edge. And I did the same thing for this one, so it didn't have that white edge. We'll get to these in just a minute, but let's work on this little hedgehog first. Okay, let me see. Let me move that over here. Also, in case you're wondering, for the hedgehog, I use, this is Scrapbookcom exclusive from 4.89 and Market, and this is the Spice collection, and I used this brown here for the hedgehog's body. This is the blue I used for the letters I cut out that I'll show you in a minute, but I used the back side of that for his face and for these little extra body parts. So that's what I used for that, and this is a really pretty paper pack. I also used the orange, this orange here from the Joyful Smooth Cardstock collection for the pumpkins. And again, I'll link all this in the description box. So let's go ahead and let's start working on our hedgehog and building him up. So what I'm going to do first is, oops, I forgot to put a die away. Let's put that back over there because I don't want to lose that. Let's go ahead and layer these up. And these. Now this one that has the debossed little quills in it, if you did this on like a plain color cardstock, you could ink that and then the quills would be lighter than the rest. And they'd show up more. I just wanted kind of the texture of the quills because it already had the dots, which I thought was really cute. Okay, so we've got that. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to layer up his feet also. I'm going to use my little gem picker because I think that will work good for getting those layered up. Let's pop that one out. Now I didn't color these eyes, and I'll tell you, I'm just going to use I'm going to use some little black gems for his eyes instead of using those little teeny dots right there. Make sure I get that layered correctly. Okay. Now we should be able to pop them right out like that and pop them onto his little body. Okay. Now let's do his ears. And like I said, I'm going to use this lighter color here. I'll just put a little dot of glue there and there. You can see that. And put that one there. Oh, this one keeps flipping over. Put this one here, and then I'll just press those down. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay him, let me see, because there's, you can really see where he's supposed to go here. Oh, his little foot's trying to move. I should have pressed that down a little bit more, I guess. Okay. Okay. So that's where his little nose is going to go, and I'm going to layer those up real quickly. So I'm just going to put dotted glue here, and again just line these up, hopefully anyway, and then poke them through. Okay, and we're going to put a little dot of glue here because we know that's where his nose is going to go. Okay, let me set up off of there. Oh. Okay, there we go. Let's make sure it's still right. Yes. Okay, now I need those for the pumpkin stems. We'll get to that in a minute. I took out an alcohol marker I want to use, and this is Ohuhu, and this is R19. I'm just going to give him some little cheeks. So we're just going to make sure it's lined up, and I'm just going to give him some little cheeks because I think he needs some cute little rosy cheeks. Okay, and I'm going to grab my gems. Be careful. I don't want to dump these out, that's for sure. And where do I want to put his eyes? I think right here and here will be cute. And I just need to be able to grab. These are so hard when they flip over to get back on the right side. So I'll just grab one of those. See if we can get another one out of here. And I got, in case you're wondering, this thing of like, I call them gems. I guess they're black half pearls. But I got this on Amazon, I don't know how long ago, because I use a ton of these black ones for eyes. I really like using these for eyes, especially on the little critters. Okay, so one more thing we're going to do is I'm going to grab a little piece of black foam tape, and I don't have my other black foam tape out, but I have this that my husband got me, so we're just going to use that. And I'm just going to pop a little piece onto the back of here, like this. Oh. And we're going to line that up, make sure it's lined up with his little nose on his body. And how cute is he? My goodness. He is adorable. Can you see him? Oh, so cute. Okay, we're going to set him to the side. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, and let me shut my glue real quick, since I'm not using that currently, is I took out some alcohol markers also, and I'm just going to add a little bit of highlighting onto these pumpkins. So these are YR3, Y4, and Y10. And I'm going to start with YR3, and just anywhere I think that there should be some shadowing, I'm just going to kind of add that in there. And some from the bottom, a little from the top. And I'm going in with my darkest color first. And some people like to go light to dark. You do it however you want to do it. I like going in dark first and then coming in with the lighter colors. I used to do light to dark when I first started using alcohol markers. But I really found it much easier to do it this way. For me personally. Okay, and I'm going to go with my lightest and just kind of blend these. Out a little bit. Okay, that's good for me. Now, I'm going to take and glue on their little stems. And yeah, I might go in with like a little bit of this brown around this edge here. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Just on this one side. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm just going to put a dot of glue where their stem goes. And then I'll put these little stems on. Okay. Press those down. Now we have our little pumpkins ready. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is get our letters out. So what I plan on doing is having it say give thanks. So I've got all my letters cut out. And what I did was I layered these up. So again, I used the paper from that cardstock pack I showed you for the top layer. And then I used the, just used white cardstock. And I cut out 4 of each letter from white. And what I did is layered this. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you've seen me do this before. So I figured I would show you on one just in case you're new. I'll show you on one, and then the rest are already done. So all I do is I just, honestly, I cut out 4 of these in white, and I add glue, and I just kind of hold on to it and line it up with the other letter, make sure it's even, press it down, and do it again. Make sure everything's lined up. Press it down. Oh, do it again. Okay, and then once all 4 of those are glued together, I just add my top layer. Like that. And put that on. Make sure it's lined up. Now you could go around the edge of this white if you want it with marker or whatever, but I don't mind it. I think it kind of helps make it pop from the card a little bit more. But you do whatever you want to do. You could cut the back layers from a cardstock kind of that matches this, or a little darker, or even black. That will also work. So when I cut these out, I will tell you an easy way I did this. So for the letters, I think I showed you that I used leaves. This was leaves. Okay, I showed you the hedgehog. So this is the alphabet set I used from Scrapbook.com, and it's called Typewriter. So what I did is I just laid my words out just like this basically, but I fit them to where they fit on the cardstock, and I just used mint tape and glued all the dies, taped all the dies together, so that when I peeled them up off the cardstock, they were all still attached together with the mint tape, so I could just stick it onto the next piece of cardstock. It made die cutting them so much faster by doing it that way. They all just stayed together. But yes, this is the alphabet set I'm using. It's Typewriter, and again, it will be linked below, I promise. So the next thing we're going to do is start putting everything onto our background piece here. And here is kind of my plan for this. So I do want that kind of so I can see. And you know what? It's trying to move on me. Okay. So my plan is to maybe not this far down on the card, but I'm going to kind of lay it out to start and see what we're working with here. Just put thanks. And we need to move that over because we got to fit our S on there. Got lint stuck to me. It is not wanting to come off, I guess. Stuck on with some glue here. Okay. Just got to make sure we adjust these. This is why I like to lay things out before I start gluing it down, in case you have to move anything. Okay. So there's the thanks. That's pretty evenly spaced, it looks like. And then my plan was to have the little hedgehog, like he's sitting up here like this. Give him some little pumpkins. And maybe do this like this. Okay, so what I do want to do, I like this layout, but I want to bring everything up just a little bit. So we're going to bring everything up a tiny bit to kind of center it into our card better. Like that. Oh. Let's move our little guy up here, and we can put these back on. So I'm just going to lift those off for a minute. And we're going to move everything up. Okay, so I grabbed my little Tim Holtz little clear like ruler type thing for the media mat, and I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to kind of make sure it's straight like this, and I am going to just stick a little piece of mint tape on this end just to make sure it does not move while I am lining these up. So there we go. Everything looks straight. So I just want to make sure I'm going to hold this down, and I'm going to just make sure that all these are pushed to the bottom so they are straight and evenly spaced. And I am going to readjust, I think, that give at the top. Let's see, let's bring him down a little bit. And I don't know. Yes, let's bring this down just a little teeny bit. Like that, I think. Okay, before I put the pumpkins back on, I think what I'm going to do is start working on this and getting these glued on. So I'm going to start with the top. I'm going to bring that there. And what I'm going to do is do the same thing with, I think I'm going to bring the bottom of that V over a little, and the E will be there. So it's a little bit closer. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead, what I'm going to do is do the E next. That way I can make sure I'm keeping everything where I want it, and it's going to be centered in that area. So we're going to come in and we're going to do the E here. And again, I'm going to move the little hedgehog because we now know where everything's going to be. Oh, drop my eye. This eye does not want to get glued on. Okay, so we know that's going to go like that. And now the V. And that's going to go like that. Okay. Very good. Now we're going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to start with the T, then I'm going to go to the S, and I'm going to kind of work my way to the middle. I'm going to grab a little taste of my T. Okay. And if you need to use tweezers or something for this, you absolutely can. Let's see. Okay. Got the T. Oh, we don't want that to move. That to stay exactly like that, so it's straight. Let me make sure. Don't know why that moved just now. Okay, let's make sure. Looks straight. Oh, I keep moving it. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay, so now we're going to do the S. And I just find it much easier when you're doing a word like this where you're gluing each letter down to start on one side and go to the next and then work your way to the middle. Kind of helps you to keep everything nice and lined up and where you intended it to be. And like I said, you can do this same type of background for fall. You can switch up what images you use back there. You could change the saying on here. You could use this for like just a thank you card. You could use it for a birthday card. So many different ways you could do this. I love doing these backgrounds like this. I just think it really just makes the background pop. Oh, my H is trying to come up for some reason. Okay, what is happening? Okay. For some reason, my H is trying to lift up. Okay, that leaves us with the last one, which is the N. Oh, that one over this way a little bit more. Up. Still trying to touch that one. Okay, there we go. Okay, so see how much easier that was by adding that ruler down the bottom. My S is a little crooked, but I'm fine with that. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my little hedgehog and I'm going to use just a little white gel pen. And I'm going to give a little highlight to the tip of his nose here. I'm going to put just a little teeny dot on his eye. Give his ear a little highlight. And some of his little quills on the side will give some highlight too. Same thing with my pumpkin, but for this, I'm going to put it on and I'm going to use my finger, just lift some of that off so it's not so stark white. Like that, okay? So for the little hedgehog, I'm going to do the same thing I did for the other, for his face. I'm going to use some of this black foam tape that I have out. And I'm going to use it for him and these pumpkins. So I'm going to cut a little piece off for the pumpkins. Put this down here on him. I will link some foam tape also. This is just some my husband had gotten me. I really like it. Okay, we're going to make sure our little guy's centered. Have his little feet touching those two letters. Like that. And now we'll add our little pumpkins. And do we want to put those to the sides? Let's see. Yeah, I think let's just do one on each side of him. I think that'll be cute. Okay, we're going to have those just at the top of the letters. Each side. Okay, let's see, right there looks right, like that. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to attach this to the card base. And I am just going to use some glue. You could have popped this up with foam tape if you wanted to. I'm just going to use glue because there's a lot of dimension on the front of the card already. And like I said before, the easiest way I found to do these is to just stand it up, hold it on both sides, and line it up. Like that. And you know what? I think I want to add a little more of a highlight here. This little face. I think that'll be cute. Like that. And you could add some little gems or something if you want it. I think some like orange or yellow ones would be pretty. That would match the card. You could add a couple here and there. I kind of like it as it is. It's got a lot of dimension on the front already. I think it's pretty cute. This hedgehog is adorable. And you know what? I may just go in and add a little glossy accent or something to that nose. Or you know what would be cute? I have a little sparkle pen. Give him a little sparkle on his nose. Let's do that. Let's give him a little sparkly nose like that. That's cute. And maybe just a little bit on the stem of the pumpkin would be cute. There we go. So there you have it. A little give thanks card using some of the items that Scrapbookcom sent me yesterday. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it inspires you to create something. If you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. I do appreciate it. And like I said, everything will be linked below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.